Hi boys and girls, welcome to Everyday Math Lesson 5.1, Exploring Rules. The materials that you'll need today, notebook paper, pencil, your math journal, Homelink 5.1, which looks like this, and then either a ruler or template for math boxes. Let's get started. The first thing that we're going to do today is go over our math boxes from the previous lesson. So if you can open up your math journal to page 110, if you're noticing that you have any mistakes, please fix those with your pencil and eraser. So for question number 1, I bought a radio for $67. I paid with $100. How much change did I get? So you can either solve this problem by starting at 67 and counting up until you get to 100, or you can start at 100 and subtract 67. So I was able to figure out that $33 would be how much change I would get back. 67 plus 33 equals 100. For question number 2, what is the temperature? And you should have circled 34 degrees. For question 3, write 3 even and 3 odd two-digit numbers. Circle the even numbers. There's lots of possible answers for this one. You just need to make sure that each of your numbers just have 2 digits. So notice how all of mine just have 2-digit numbers. And so I have 22, 68, and 74. These are my even numbers that I circled. And then 31, 39, and 23 are my odd numbers. For question number 4, what time is it? And the time that I have shown is 6:15. And then what time will it be in 15 minutes? It would be 6:30. If you have a different time that you put on your clock, then your answer needs to match what time you have on your clock. For question number 5, what is the rule? So I can see I'm going from 11 to 15 whenever I have a dark line, and I'm going from 15 to 9 when I have that dotted line. So when I have the dark line, I am adding 4, and when I have that dotted line, I'm subtracting 6. I can also test it out here, so 9 plus 4, yep, that would get me 13. 13 minus 6 would get me to 7, and 7 plus 4 would bring me to 11. For question 6, use your pattern block template and draw the triangles, which should look something like this. And then it asks, what is the difference between the triangles? And you should have something like one is larger, or you could say one is smaller, or they are different sizes. So please double check to make sure you have your page correct and fix any mistakes with your pencil and eraser. The next thing we'll do is use our whiteboard and marker or notebook paper and pencil. If the speed is ever too fast, please pause as often as needed. Can you write down the sums on your whiteboard? And so you don't need to write down the whole problem, but just write down the answer. Press pause and then play when you're ready to check. All right, so 50 plus 30, we know that 5 plus 3 is 8, and then we just add our 0 for 80. 70 plus 40, we know 7 plus 4 is 11, and then we just add our 0 to get to 110. 4 plus 6, we know is 10, and then we add one more 0 to get us to 100. Here's 3 more to try. So now my basic facts stayed the same, but my zeros changed. Can you press pause, write down the answers, and play when you're ready to check? So again, I know 5 plus 3 is 8, but this time I add 2 zeros for 800. I know 7 plus 4 is 11, but I need to add 2 zeros, and then I'm inserting my comma so I can start way to the right and count over 1, 2, 3, and put my comma. So my answer should be 1,100. And then 4 plus 6 I know is 10, and then I add my 2 zeros, giving me 1,000. Here's the last 3. Again, same basic fact, but adding another 0. Press pause and then play when you're ready to check. All right, again, I know 5 plus 3 is 8, but then I need to add my 3 zeros. I know 7 plus 4 is 11, but then I'm adding my 3 zeros for 11,000. I know 4 plus 6 is 10, but then I'm adding my 3 zeros, giving me 10,000. We'll work more on problems like this in future lessons. The next thing I'm going to ask you to do is take a look at my rule. So the top 3, these fit the rule, The bottom three, these do not fit the rule. What do you think the rule is? If you said that you think the rule is only large circles, you are correct. If you said only circles, we have one circle down here that did not fit, but just the big circles fit. Let's try a couple more like this. What's my rule? These top three fit the rule, the bottom do not. If you said that only red shapes fit the rule, you are correct. Notice how all three of these are red, and the bottom one I have similar shapes but different colors. We'll try another one like this. The top three fit the rule, the bottom do not fit the rule. What is my rule? If you said that they need to have a black dot, so only the black dot shapes, you are correct. Now, second graders, let's take a look at this again, but using that 5.1 home link. What's my attribute rule? So looking at this page, let's talk about the first three problems, and then we'll talk about the bottom half next. So it says these shapes fit the rule. These shapes do not fit the rule. So I want you to think about what the rule is. And then once you know what the rule is, which of these shapes fit the rule that you figured out up top? Circle them, tell me what the rule is, and then add a new shape to fit that rule. So press pause to solve the top part of the page, and then press play when you're ready to check your answer. All right, second graders. So when I'm looking at these shapes fit the rule, I can see something that all of them have in common. And I know that this shape would work. And I know this one would work. And this one. So these are the three shapes that I circled. Now, what is my rule? You should have said something like shapes with four sides, or you could have just written down four sides. And then name a new shape that fits the rule. I chose to draw a square. You could have drawn a square too, or you could pick something else. We'll work more on attribute rules in future lessons. The last thing we'll look at is the bottom practice. So can you solve these three problems? If you need more space, you can use the back side of the paper and then press play when you're ready to check your answers. All right, second graders, I know that 46 plus 20 would bring me to 66. I know that if I have 74 plus 30, I can count on from 70. So I can think 10 more would be 84, 20 more would be 94, and then 30 more would bring me to 104. And then for 27 plus 31, I'm going to start with doing 27 plus 30. So if I add 10, I would have 37, 20 would be 47, adding 30 would bring me to 57, and then I have to add one more, so my answer would be 58. If you have any of those wrong, please fix your mistakes before moving on to math boxes. So now if you can put your home link to the side and open up your math journal to page 112, I'll talk about the directions. When we're all done, I'll ask that you complete this page on your own and add the picture to Seesaw for your classroom teacher, and we will go over this page in our next video. So for question number 1, there are how many hundreds, how many tens, and how many ones in this top number? For question 2, read the tally chart. How many children in the class are 8 years old? For question 3, how many in all? So counting your base 10 blocks and circling your answer. For question 4, fill in the missing numbers on our number grid. For question 5, draw a triangle, but make each side 4 centimeters long. So you're going to need to use a ruler or a template for this problem. And for the last problem, number 6, graph this data. Jamar earned 3 stickers on Monday, 2 on Tuesday, and 4 on Wednesday. So if you can fill out that information in your graph. All right, I will see you next time.